Good morning, children. In the last class, in Unit 1, we discussed occurrence of metals, minerals and ores, various steps involved in metallurgical process, then important ores of some metals. In the today class, we are going to discuss concentration of ores, the first step of metallurgical process. Ores are found in the earth's crust, so it may contains non-metallic impurities, rocky materials and siliceous matter as impurities. These impurities are known as gangue or matrix. So what is gangue or matrix? Generally, the ores are associated with non-metallic impurities, rocky materials and siliceous matter, which are collectively known as gangue or matrix. For example, hematite ore. The formula of hematite ore is Fe2O3, contains SiO2, that is silicon dioxide, as gangue. The impurity, that is the gangue associated with hematite ore is SiO2. The removal of these impurities is the preliminary step in metallurgical process. Yes, the removal of these impurities is the preliminary step in metallurgical process. This removal process is known as concentration of ore. What is concentration of ore? Generally, the ores are associated with non-metallic impurities, rocky materials and siliceous matter, which are collectively known as gangue or matrix. The preliminary step in metallurgical process is removal of these impurities. This removal process is known as concentration of ore. Children, here there are two important 2-mark questions are there. One is the what is gangue or matrix. Another question is what is meant by concentration of ore. Yes, these two are the important 2-mark questions. The concentration of ore increases the concentration of the metal of interest or its compound in the ore. You know, concentration of the ores means purification of the ores, isn't it? Yes. So the concentration of the ores increases the concentration of the metal of interest or its compound in the ore. Several methods are available for this process, and the choice of method will depend on the nature of the ore, type of impurity and environmental factors. The different methods of concentration of ores are gravity separation, flotation process, magnetic separation and leaching. Yes, the different methods of concentration of ores are gravity separation, flotation process, magnetic separation and leaching. Now we are going to see one by one. Gravity separation is also known as hydraulic wash. Yes, gravity separation is, this method is also known as hydraulic wash. An important 3-mark or 2-mark question. Explain gravity separation. In this method, ore having high specific gravity is separated from the gangue that has low specific gravity. Understand, children? Ores having high specific gravity, that is heavier ore, is separated from the gangue have low specific gravity by using water. Understand children? This is by using a current of water. Current of water means here the water is passed over the powdered ore with high force. Okay, yes. So how the ore is purified by gravity separation means the ore is crushed to a finely powdered form. Okay, the ore is crushed to a finely powdered form and treated with rapidly flowing current of water. Children, here the picture for hydraulic washing is given. Refer the picture. Yes, in our textbook the picture is not given, so no need to draw the diagram. For understanding purpose only the diagram is given. So explain gravity separation method means it is enough to give only the explanation part with the example. Understand children? Yes, now we can see the process. The ore is crushed to a finely powdered form and treated with rapidly flowing current of water. So when the powdered ore is treated with a rapidly flowing current of water means the water will wash away the lighter gangue particles and will leaving behind the heavier ore particles. Here the ores are heavier in nature and the gangue is lighter in nature. So the water will wash away all the lighter gangue particles and will leaving behind the heavier ore particles. Understand children? Yes, this method is generally applied to concentrate native ores such as gold and oxide ores such as hematite. The formula of hematite is Fe2O3 and tinstone. Yes, what are all the ores are concentrated that is purified by gravity separation or hydraulic wash means native ores such as gold and oxide ores such as hematite and tinstone. The formula of tinstone is SnO2. Understand children? Yes. Remember gravity separation is used to purify ore having high specific gravity. Okay. Yes. From the gangue having low specific gravity. Understand children? This is used to purify and separate ore having high specific gravity from a gangue having low specific gravity by using water. In this method, the ore is crushed to a finely powdered form and treated with a rapidly flowing current of water. So when the finely powdered ore is treated with a current of water means the water will wash away the lighter gangue particle and leaving behind the heavier ore particles. Native ores such as gold, then oxide ores such as hematite and tinstone can be concentrated by this method. Next, we are going to see froth flotation process. This method is generally used for the purification, that is concentration of sulfide ores. Yes, froth flotation process is generally used for the concentration of sulfide ores, that is sulfide ores such as galena PbS, zinc blende ZnS, copper pyrite CuFeS2, copper glands Cu2S, then iron pyrites FeS2, etc. can be concentrated by this process. This method is based on the fact that the metallic ore particles, that is the sulfide ore particles, only wetted by oil and the gangue particles are wetted by water. Yes, this method is based on the fact that the metallic ore particles, that is the sulfide ore particles, only wetted by oil and the gangue particles are wetted by water. This is the principle of froth flotation process. What is the principle of froth flotation process means? Explain this paragraph. Now we can see the process. Children, here the picture for froth flotation process is given. refer the diagram all of you. Explain froth flotation process, an important 5-mark question. So here you have to explain this. For this question you have to explain the principle, process and diagram. You should draw the diagram also. Yes, now we can see the process. In this method the ore is crushed. Then the crushed ore is suspended in water and mixed with frothing agent such as pine oil, eucalyptus oil, etc. Yes, first the ore is crushed, then the crushed ore is suspended in water and mixed with frothing agent. Eucalyptus oil, pine oil are used as frothing agent. Then a small quantity of sodium ethyl xanthate is also added. Here the sodium ethyl xanthate acts as a collector molecule. Understand children? Yes, the ore is crushed and powdered, then it is suspended in water, then frothing agent like eucalyptus oil, pine oil are added. Okay, that is to generate the froth. Okay, then the mixture is also mixed with, that is added with sodium ethyl xanthate. Okay, it acts as a collector molecule. Later we are going to see how sodium ethyl xanthate act as a collector molecule. Understand children? Yes. Then froth is generated. Okay, froth is generated by blowing air through this mixture. The collector molecules present in this mixture attach to the ore particle and make them water repellent. This is the function of collector molecule in this process. Yes, here the mixture contains ore particles in it. Okay, here the powdered ore is mixed with, this is the powdered sulfide ore. Okay, the powdered sulfide ore is mixed with water, then frothing agent and collector molecule. Understand? Yes. Then froth is generated by blowing air through this mixture. Understand? Yes. Then the collector molecule present in the a mixture attached to the ore particle and make them water repellent. Understand? Okay. Yes. Due to this, the ore particles are wetted by the oil. Understand? Okay, what is the function of the collector molecule? Here the collector molecule attached to the ore particle and make the ore particle water repellent. Due to this, the ore particles are wetted by the oil and rises to the surface along with the froth. Understand? Refer the picture all of you. Yes. Then the froth, okay, containing the ore particle is skimmed off and dried to recover the concentrated ore. Yes, the froth is skimmed off and dried to recover the concentrated ore. So here, the ore particle, this is the sulfide ore particles are wetted by the oil. Understand children? Yes. What about the gangue means? Yes, we know the gangue particles that are preferentially wetted by water and settle down at the bottom. The gangue particles are wetted by water and settle down at the bottom. I think you understood the process. Yes, the ore is crushed and powdered. Then the powdered ore is suspended in water. Then frothing agent like pine oil, eucalyptus oil, etc. are added. Then collector molecule called sodium ethyl xanthate is added. Then froth is generated, okay, by blowing air through this mixture. Okay, yes. Then the collector molecule, the sodium ethyl xanthate present in the mixture, okay, attached to the ore particle and make them water repellent. Due to this, the ore particles are wetted by the oil and rises to the surface along with the froth. Then the froth is skimmed off and dried to recover the concentrated ore. And the gangue particles are wetted by water and settle down at the bottom. Understand children? Explain flotation process means explain the principle, the first paragraph, then explain the process, then you draw the diagram. Understand children? Yes. Suppose when sulfate ore of metal of interest contains other metal sulfate as impurities means depressing agents such as sodium cyanide, sodium carbonate, etc. are used to selectively prevent other metal sulfides from coming to the froth. Yes, listen children, when a sulfide ore of metal of interest contains other metal sulfides as impurities means, okay, yes, depressing agents are added to the sulfide ore of metal of interest in order to prevent the impure metal sulfides from coming to the froth. Understand children? Yes. What are the substances are used as a depressing agent? Sodium cyanide NaCN, sodium carbonate Na2CO3 are added or are used as depressing agent. Understand children? What is the purpose of adding depressing agent? The depressing agent will selectively prevent the impure metal sulfides from coming to the froth. For example, when impurities such as ZnS, that is zinc blende, is present in galena ore means depressing agent like sodium cyanide is added to depresses the flotation property of ZnS. Here ZnS is the impurity. Okay, ZnS and galena both are sulfide ores. Okay, but ZnS is the impurity. Okay, its percentage will be low on compared to that PBS. Understand children? So to prevent the flotation property of the impure ZnS present in galena, depressing agent like sodium cyanide is added. How sodium cyanide depresses the flotation property of ZnS means by forming a layer of zinc complex on the surface of zinc sulfide. Here the depressing agent sodium cyanide depresses the flotation property of ZnS by forming a layer of zinc complex on the surface of zinc sulfide. Okay, yes, the formula of the zinc complex, that is the ZnS, is converted into zinc complex. Understand children? Yes, so by converting the ZnS into a complex, we can prevent the flotation property of ZnS. Understand children? Yes. What is the formula of the zinc complex means Na2ZnCN 4 times. The formula is Na2ZnCN 4 times. Yes, when you are writing the formula, you should write correctly. The Na2 should be written outside the square bracket. Zn and the Cn 4 times should be written inside the square bracket. Okay, it is a complex salt. Then the common name of the complex salt is sodium zincate. About complex salts, it is otherwise called as coordination compounds. About coordination compounds or complex salts, we are going to study in detail in Unit 5. Understand children? So to prevent or to depress the flotation property of ZnS impurity present in galena ore, yes, depressing agent like sodium cyanide is used. Understand children? Yes, it is a separate 2 mark or 3 mark question. What is the role of sodium cyanide in flotation process means we explain this paragraph. This is a separate important 2 mark or 3 mark question. Ferromagnetic ores. Yes, this method is applicable to ferromagnetic ores. That is, when the ore and the gangue is differ in magnetic properties, means they can be separated by magnetic separation method. Yes, when the ores and the gangue are differ in magnetic properties, means they can be separated by magnetic separation method. For example, tin stone, a ore of tin, it is non-magnetic in nature. It contains wolframite impurities. The wolframite impurity is magnetic in nature. Yes, remember children, tin stone, the ore, okay, tin stone, SnO2, a heavy oxide ore of tin. Okay, the tin stone ore is non-magnetic in nature. It contains wolframite impurities. The wolframite impurity is magnetic in nature. So, the non-magnetic tin stone ore can be separated from the magnetic wolframite impurities, okay, by magnetic separation method. Then another example, ores such as chromite, pyrolusite. Chromite and pyrolusite are the oxide ore of chromium and manganese respectively. Okay, chromite is the heavy oxide ore of chromium. Pyrolusite is the heavy oxide ore of manganese. Okay, yes, both the ores are magnetic in nature. Understand? These ores containing siliceous matter as impurities. The siliceous matter is non-magnetic in nature. Okay, yes, the siliceous impurity is non-magnetic in nature. Okay, yes, so the magnetic ore, that is chromite ore and pyrolusite, can be separated from the non-magnetic siliceous impurities by magnetic separation. Understand children? Yes, study the examples thoroughly for 1 mark part. Now we can see the process. The crushed ore is poured onto a electromagnetic separator. Children, here the picture for electromagnetic separation is given. Refer all of you. Yes, the ore is first crushed to powder. Then the crushed ore is poured onto a electromagnetic separator. The electromagnetic separator consisting of a belt. Okay, consisting of a belt moving over two wheelers. Understand children? Yes, the electromagnetic separator consisting of a belt moving over two rollers, of which one is magnetic in nature. Okay, yes, among the two wheels, the one wheel, actually mainly the first one, the first wheel is magnetic in nature and the second one is non-magnetic in nature. Understand children? So when the ores are poured over the magnetic separator, means the magnetic part of the ore is attracted towards the magnet. Yes, the magnetic part of the ore is attracted towards the magnet and falls as a heap close to the magnetic region, while the non-magnetic part falls away from it. Understand children? Yes, the magnetic part of the ore is attracted towards the magnet and falls as a heap close to the magnetic region, while the non-magnetic part falls away from it. Understand? Yes, mainly from this topic, that is from magnetic separation, you will be asked 1 mark question only. Understand children? Yes,